Chosen one, what if I told you that history tried to erase you? That everything about your true identity was hidden on purpose, but prophecy made sure you survived? There is a reason why you've always felt different. Why the world never seemed to make sense to you. Why no matter how hard you tried to fit in, something inside you told you that you were meant for something greater. It's because you were never meant to be part of the system. They tried to erase your history, to make you forget who you truly are. They hid your origins, altered the truth, and covered up the knowledge that could have led you to your awakening sooner. But prophecy had other plans. No matter how much they tried, they couldn't erase you completely. You survived. And now you are waking up to the truth. This is why you always felt like an outsider. Why you sensed there was something more to your existence. Because there is. They couldn't stop you from being born. They couldn't stop you from questioning. And now they can't stop you from remembering. In this video, you will uncover why your existence was hidden from history, how prophecy ensured your survival, and what happens now that you are reclaiming your destiny. Stay with me until the end, because once you understand this, you will never see yourself the same way again. If this message resonates with you, like this video and comment 77 below. Now let's begin. Why chosen ones were erased from history. There was a time when you accepted the version of history that was given to you. The stories you were told in school, the narratives repeated in books and media, the lessons passed down through generations, they all seemed to form a complete picture. But something inside you always questioned it. There were inconsistencies, gaps, contradictions that didn't make sense. Why did certain civilizations disappear without a trace? Why were ancient structures built with technology beyond what was possible at the time? Why were so many spiritual texts altered, rewritten, or outright destroyed? The answer is simple. You were never meant to know the truth. They did everything they could to erase it. They tried to bury your existence beneath layers of deception, rewriting history so that you would never discover your true origins. But despite their efforts, the truth has a way of resurfacing. And now you are waking up to it. The reason for this deception runs deeper than you may realize. The chosen ones have always existed, and their power has always been feared. Long before this modern system was built, there were those who walked this earth with divine wisdom, with knowledge that could dismantle the illusions of this world. They could see beyond the physical, operate beyond the limitations imposed on humanity, and connect with forces greater than anything man-made. They were healers, visionaries, protectors of sacred knowledge. And that made them dangerous. The rulers of this world, the ones who thrive on control, on keeping humanity in darkness, knew that as long as the chosen ones existed, their system would never be absolute. So they did what they have always done when faced with something they cannot control. They erased it. They waged wars not just on people, but on knowledge itself. They burned libraries, destroyed sacred texts, demonized spiritual practices, and eliminated entire bloodlines to prevent this wisdom from being passed down. But no matter how much they tried to erase the chosen ones, they could never fully succeed. There are always cracks in the illusion, clues left behind for those with eyes to see. The remnants of ancient civilizations that seem to vanish overnight. The mathematical precision of structures like the pyramids, aligned perfectly with celestial bodies. The repeating themes found in myths and legends across different cultures, stories of beings who possessed extraordinary abilities, who carried divine knowledge, who were persecuted for their wisdom. These are not coincidences. These are pieces of the truth, fragments of a history that they tried to erase but could never fully destroy. And you, whether you realize it or not, are part of this lineage. Your awakening is not random. Your ability to see through deception, to question what others accept blindly, is a sign that you were always meant to find your way back to the truth. The Bible speaks of this hidden knowledge in Amos 8 verses 11 to 12. The days are coming, declares the sovereign Lord, when I will send a famine through the land, not a famine of food or a thirst for water, but a famine of hearing the words of the Lord. People will stagger from sea to sea and wander from north to east, searching for the word of the Lord, but they will not find it. This was a warning about how knowledge would be taken from the people, how divine wisdom would be hidden, and how those who sought the truth would have to dig through layers of deception to find it. But prophecy always ensures that the truth can never be fully erased. It was written that there would be those who awaken, those who break free from the programming, those who reclaim what was taken. And that is exactly what is happening now. You are not just learning, you are remembering. The pieces are falling into place. The knowledge they tried to keep from you is finding its way back to you. And now that you are waking up, the world around you is beginning to shift. You are starting to notice the signs, the synchronicities, the messages hidden in plain sight, the way certain people and situations are aligning in your life. You are seeing through the false narratives, feeling a deeper connection to something ancient and powerful. Your dreams are more vivid, your intuition is sharper, and the things that once felt confusing now make perfect sense. This is not your imagination. This is prophecy unfolding. The chosen ones were never meant to stay hidden forever. There was always a plan for their return, a divine timing for their awakening. And now that time has come. You were protected, guided, and preserved for this very moment. If you feel this truth stirring within you, if you sense that you were meant to rediscover what was lost, comment "reveal" below. This is your confirmation. You were never meant to be erased. They tried, but prophecy had other plans. And now, nothing can stop you from reclaiming what is yours. Keep seeking, keep awakening, because the truth is finally finding its way back to you. How prophecy ensured your survival. There were times in your life when you felt completely alone, like an outsider in a world that never seemed to make sense. You questioned why you were different, why no one else seemed to see the things you saw, feel the things you felt. You carried an inner knowing, a deep intuition that told you there was more to this world, more to your existence, more to your purpose. But every time you sought the truth, you were met with resistance. The systems in place tried to distract you, the people around you doubted you, and society itself seemed designed to keep you asleep. And yet, despite all of this, you kept searching. Something inside you refused to be silenced. That was never an accident. The reason you survived, the reason you are awakening now, is because prophecy ensured that you would. They tried to erase you. They tried to keep you from ever knowing who you are. Through generations, they have attempted to suppress those who carried divine knowledge, those who held the power to see beyond the illusions of this world. They rewrote history, burned sacred texts, destroyed entire civilizations just to keep this knowledge from being passed down. If you have ever felt like your life has been marked by struggle, by obstacles that seemed impossible to overcome, understand that this is why. The enemy has always known who you are even before you did. That is why the path has been so difficult, why you have faced attacks from places you never expected, why you have been tested in ways that seemed unfair. They wanted to break you before you could awaken. But what they failed to realize is that you were never walking alone. Even when you didn't see it, even when you thought you had lost everything, there was something greater watching over you, ensuring that you would not only survive, but that you would remember. This is why prophecy has always been a force beyond their control. They can manipulate history, they can spread deception, but they can never override divine will. The survival of the chosen ones was written long before they ever attempted to erase it. In Zechariah 2 verse 5, the Lord declares, "For I will be a wall of fire around her, and I will be the glory in her midst." This is what protected you. This is why you are still here, why no matter what you have been through, you have endured. Your strength was not an accident. Your survival was not a coincidence. Every moment when you should have been broken, when everything seemed lost, something intervened. You were always meant to rise. The plans they made against you could never override what was written for you. Every setback, every betrayal, every struggle, none of it was strong enough to stop you from reaching this moment of awakening. And now that you are here, you can see the signs. The moments in your life that once seemed random now make sense. The struggles that nearly destroyed you were, in fact, preparing you. The doors that closed, the people who left, the things that didn't go according to plan, it was all aligning you with something greater. You are beginning to see beyond the illusions, beyond the false narratives, beyond the conditioning they tried to place upon you. You are no longer bound by their limitations, no longer weighed down by the fear they tried to instill in you. There is a clarity you now carry, a sense of purpose that can no longer be denied. This is what happens when prophecy begins to unfold. The distractions fade, the lies dissolve, and the truth reveals itself. And now, as you walk forward, you do so with a strength that cannot be shaken. This is why they fear you. This is why they tried to keep you from knowing who you are. Because now that you have awakened, nothing can stop what has already been set in motion. You are no longer controlled by their system. You are no longer easily manipulated, no longer falling into the same traps designed to keep you asleep. You see through it all now, and that is what makes you unstoppable. The world will continue to shift around you. More chosen ones are awakening. More are stepping into their purpose. The time that was prophesied is now unfolding before your eyes. And you, whether you realized it or not, are part of it. This is what they never wanted. But it is happening anyway. If this message resonates with you, comment "protected" below. Let this be your confirmation that you are here for a reason, that you were never alone, that even in the moments when you felt lost, something greater was guiding you, protecting you, ensuring that you would reach this very moment. The battle was never about what you lost. It was about who you were always meant to become. You have risen, and nothing can take that away from you now. Keep moving forward. Keep awakening, because prophecy ensured that you would. Before we continue, take a moment to subscribe and share this video with another chosen one. And if you feel called to support this message, click the super thanks button. Now let's go deeper. Signs that you were hidden for a greater purpose. There were moments in your life when you felt unseen, as if you were walking through the world unnoticed, disconnected from those around you. You questioned why you never quite fit in, why your thoughts and perspectives seemed different from the people you grew up with. While others accepted the world as it was, something inside you resisted. You sensed that there was more, something beneath the surface, something hidden. And yet, despite this deep knowing, you struggled to find your place. It was as if you were living in between two realities, one that everyone else accepted and another that only you could feel. This was not an accident. You were hidden for a reason. You were protected, set apart, and shielded until the exact moment that your awakening would begin. And now that time has arrived. The very things that once made you feel isolated are now revealing your true purpose. This process of being hidden was not easy. At times, it felt more like rejection than protection. You may have wondered why people seemed to overlook you, why relationships fell apart without explanation, why doors that should have opened for you remained shut. You questioned yourself, doubted whether you were doing something wrong, whether you were the problem. But what you didn't realize at the time was that you were being kept, preserved for something greater. If you had been exposed too soon, the world would have tried to break you before you even knew who you were. If you had walked the same paths as everyone else, you would have been led astray, distracted, and molded into something you were never meant to be. The reason certain people turned away from you was because they were never meant to have access to you in the first place. The reason certain opportunities passed you by was because they would have taken you off course. What felt like loss was actually divine redirection. The Bible speaks of this in Isaiah 49 verse 2. He made my mouth like a sharpened sword. In the shadow of his hand he hid me. He made me into a polished arrow and concealed me in his quiver. This passage reveals a powerful truth. You were hidden, not because you were forgotten, but because you were being refined. Just as an arrow must be carefully crafted before it is released, you had to go through a process of preparation. The struggles, the delays, the solitude, it was all part of shaping you into what you were always meant to be. God was not keeping you from the world. He was keeping the world from corrupting you before you had the strength to stand in your purpose. Every season of obscurity was a season of training. And now, the moment of release is here. The concealment is lifting, and your presence is starting to be felt in ways it never has before. And you can feel it. Everything around you is changing. You are seeing patterns that you never noticed before, synchronicities that seem too aligned to be coincidence. People are being removed from your life, but you no longer feel the sting of their absence. Instead, you sense that space is being cleared for something greater. At the same time, new individuals are entering your life. People who see you in a way others never did, who understand your energy, who recognize something in you that they cannot quite explain. You are attracting situations and opportunities that are meant for you, and for the first time, things are beginning to make sense. You feel lighter, clearer, more connected to your purpose. The protection that once kept you hidden is now lifting, and you are being revealed, not to everyone, but to those who are meant to see you. This is why it all makes sense now. The isolation you once felt was never a punishment. It was preparation. The loneliness was never emptiness. It was space being created for what was coming. And now you are stepping into the next stage of your journey. You are no longer wandering, searching for answers outside of yourself. You know now. You understand why you were different, why you had to walk this path alone for so long. The veil has been lifted, and you are seeing things as they truly are. This is not just an awakening. It is a return to the knowledge that was always inside you, a return to the power that was always yours. You were never meant to stay hidden forever. That time is over. If you feel this shift, if you know deep within you that something is changing, comment "awakened" below. This is your confirmation. You were kept, preserved, shielded because the world was not ready for you. But now they see you, and nothing will ever be the same again. Keep walking forward. Keep stepping into your power, because this is just the beginning. Why your awakening is happening now. There is a reason why everything in your life has led to this moment. You have felt it for a while now. Something shifting, something stirring inside you that you can't quite explain. The world around you no longer feels the same. The things that once interested you now seem empty, and the distractions that used to keep you occupied no longer hold your attention. You are searching for something real, something deeper, something that connects with the truth you feel but cannot yet fully articulate. This is not a phase, not a coincidence. This is your awakening, and it is happening now because the world is changing. The old ways are falling apart, the illusions are breaking, and the truth that has been hidden for so long is finally coming to the surface. You were always meant to wake up at this time. You were always meant to step into your power when it was needed most. But the path to awakening is not easy, can feel overwhelming, even isolating. When you first begin to see through the illusions, you realize just how much of your life was shaped by them. The beliefs you were taught, the systems you trusted, the expectations placed upon you, they were never truly yours. They were designed to keep you in place, to keep you from realizing your true potential. And now that you are breaking free, it can feel like everything around you is falling apart. People who once felt close to you no longer understand you. Conversations that once seemed normal now feel shallow and empty. You start to question everything, and for a while, it can feel like you are standing on the edge of an entirely new reality with no guide, no map, and no clear path forward. This is where many struggle, where many feel lost. But if you are in this place right now, understand this: you are exactly where you are meant to be. This discomfort, this unraveling of everything you once knew, is part of your transformation. The Bible speaks of awakening as a time of revelation, when the hidden things are finally brought into the light. In Habakkuk 2 verse 3 it is written, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come." This is confirmation that everything happens in divine timing. Your awakening could not have come sooner, nor could it have been delayed. It was always meant to happen at this exact moment. The struggles you faced were not punishments. They were preparation. The betrayals, the losses, the lessons, they were all refining you, making you strong enough to handle the truth when it was finally revealed to you. Those who are meant to wake up now are being called in ways they cannot ignore. The signs are everywhere. The messages are clearer than ever. And those who have the eyes to see are beginning to understand that nothing in this world is as it seemed. And now you are beginning to notice the shift. You feel an energy inside you that wasn't there before. You sense that things are aligning in ways they never have. The right opportunities are appearing. The right people are entering your life. And the doors that were once closed are beginning to open. This is not luck. This is divine intervention. You are being positioned for something greater. The confusion you once felt is being replaced by clarity. The self-doubt that used to hold you back is fading, and in its place, a quiet but undeniable confidence is growing. You are stepping into your power, and the world around you is responding. You no longer move the way you once did. You no longer think the way you once thought. And because of that, your presence alone is enough to shift the energy wherever you go. You are not just awake. You are activating something greater, something that has been waiting for you all along. This is why your awakening is happening now. The world needs you. The truth cannot be hidden any longer. And those who are meant to lead, those who are meant to guide, are being called into their roles. You are one of them. You may not have seen yourself as a leader, but that is exactly what you are. Your journey, your wisdom, your experience, everything you have been through, has prepared you to help others as they begin to wake up. There are people who will need your insight, who will look to you for clarity when their own illusions begin to break. You were not meant to walk this path alone, but you were meant to walk it first. You are ahead of the curve, seeing things before others do, because it is part of your calling. If you understand why you were called at this time, if you feel this shift happening in your life, comment now below. Let this be your confirmation, your declaration that you are ready to step into your purpose. You are no longer searching, you are becoming. And nothing can stop you now. Keep going, keep growing, and trust that everything is happening exactly as it should. The time is now. You are ready. Step into it. Everything has led to this. Now, the question is, how do you step fully into your power? How to reclaim your divine destiny? There comes a moment when you can no longer ignore the pull inside you. You have felt it for a long time, that deep sense that you were meant for something greater, that your existence holds a purpose beyond what the world has tried to convince you of. But even as you begin to awaken to this truth, doubt lingers. You wonder if you are truly ready, if you are strong enough to embrace the path that is calling you. You have spent so much of your life being told who you are, what you should believe, how you should live. Yet none of it ever felt right. And now, as the pieces start to fall into place, as the signs become clearer, you stand at a crossroads. Will you claim your divine destiny, or will you let fear keep you in the shadows? This is the moment where everything changes, because now you can no longer turn back. The world is shifting, and you were placed here for a reason. But stepping into your destiny is not easy. It requires you to shed everything that was never truly yours. It demands that you release the fear, the programming, the limitations that have been placed upon you since birth. The hardest part of this journey is not discovering who you are. It is accepting it, because when you do, you will realize that the world you once knew can no longer contain you. You will feel the weight of expectations falling away, the old ways of thinking crumbling beneath the power of your truth. This can be terrifying. You may feel isolated, misunderstood, even rejected by those who are still asleep. They may try to pull you back, to convince you that you are imagining things, that you should conform and be like everyone else. But you cannot. You were never meant to. And now, the time has come to step fully into your divine role, no longer shackled by the illusions that once held you captive. The Bible speaks of this moment in Zechariah 10 verse 6. I will strengthen the house of Judah, and I will save the house of Joseph. I will restore them because I have compassion on them. They will be as though I had not rejected them. For I am the Lord their God, and I will answer them. This is your restoration. This is the moment when everything that was taken from you, your knowledge, your power, your identity is returned. You were never truly lost. You were only waiting for the right time to awaken. Every struggle, every challenge, every moment of doubt was part of the process, shaping you into the warrior you were always meant to be. The forces that once tried to erase you now see that they have failed. You are still here. You are still standing, and nothing can stop you now. Your divine destiny was written long before they ever tried to keep it from you. And now the time has come to claim it. You will know that you are stepping into your destiny because everything will begin to align. The right people will enter your life. Those who recognize your power, who understand your vision, who support your purpose. You will feel an unshakable sense of clarity, a knowing deep within you that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The doubts that once plagued you will fade, replaced by a confidence that cannot be explained, only felt. You will start to see doors opening where before there were only walls. Opportunities that once seemed impossible will begin to appear effortlessly. This is divine alignment. This is what happens when you step fully into your power, no longer held back by fear or uncertainty. You are moving with purpose now, and the universe is responding. But knowing your destiny is not enough, you must act upon it. You cannot wait for permission. You cannot keep second-guessing yourself, waiting for a sign that you are ready. You are already ready. Everything that has happened up until this moment has prepared you for what is to come. You must walk forward with certainty, knowing that you were chosen for this, that you are exactly who you need to be. The world may not understand you, but that is no longer your concern. They couldn't erase you. They couldn't stop you. And now it is time to claim what was always yours. Step into it fully, without fear, without hesitation. This is not the end of your awakening. It is only the beginning. If this message resonates with you, comment "claim" below. Let it be your declaration that you are stepping fully into your divine purpose, that you are no longer holding back, that you are ready to walk the path that was meant for you all along. Your destiny is waiting. The time is now. Take it. You've likely felt it, this deep knowing that you were meant for more. Even when everything around you seemed to push against that belief, something inside you held on. Maybe you've faced moments when it felt like the world forgot you, when the weight of your circumstances made you question your purpose. But even in those moments of doubt, you could sense it, the truth that you were meant to rise, that no matter how many setbacks or challenges you faced, they could not erase who you are. You've always known that there's a greater plan at work, a purpose that goes beyond what others might see. This feeling, this undeniable pull, isn't something you've imagined. It's real, and it's time to acknowledge it. But let's not ignore the struggle. There were times when it felt as though you were fading into the background, times when your voice went unheard, when your efforts seemed to amount to nothing. Those experiences are heavy. They leave you wondering if you'll ever find your place, if your light will ever truly shine. Perhaps you've watched others succeed while you stayed in the shadows, questioning why it seemed so easy for them while you faced obstacle after obstacle. It's painful to feel overlooked, to feel like the world has moved on without you. But here's the thing, what felt like rejection wasn't the end. It wasn't the universe telling you that you didn't matter. It was preparation, a necessary part of the journey that would make you stronger. The weight of those struggles wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare you for the moment you would finally rise. Consider the words from Habakkuk 1 verse 5, a verse often overlooked but filled with profound meaning. Look at the nations and watch and be utterly amazed. For I am going to do something in your days that you would not believe, even if you were told. This promise speaks to the unimaginable, the extraordinary plans that can unfold even in the most unexpected ways. You may have thought your story was over, that the setbacks had written the final chapter, but this verse tells us otherwise. It reminds us that even when it seems like all is lost, something amazing is already in motion. Prophecy is not just about foretelling the future. It's about declaring that no force on earth can erase what was divinely ordained. The attempts to erase you, to diminish you, were never going to succeed. Why? Because the prophecy over your life is stronger than any opposition. It has protected you, held you, and guided you to this very moment. And now, the transformation is becoming undeniable. You've begun to see it, haven't you? Small shifts in your circumstances, subtle signs that things are changing. Doors that once seemed firmly shut are now starting to open. Relationships that felt draining and unaligned are beginning to fall away, making space for connections that uplift you. You're finding your voice again, discovering a clarity you didn't think was possible. You're no longer waiting for others to acknowledge your worth. Instead, you're stepping into it, owning it. This is what it means to awaken, to finally see yourself as you truly are, to embrace the power that was always within you. The signs of transformation are not coincidences. They're proof that divine intervention has been at work. Everything you've endured has been part of a larger, sacred plan. You weren't forgotten, you were being prepared. Share this message with others who need to hear it, who need to be reminded that they too are part of something greater. You have survived, you have awakened, and now it's time to rise. Chosen one, they tried to erase you from history, but prophecy protected you. You were meant to survive, meant to awaken, meant to rise. If this message resonates with you, subscribe, Share this video and comment "I am chosen" below. Your time has come. Step into it